Hi everyone. Hello and welcome to Mentor Chat. Before I introduce my guest today and talk about myself, I have a question for all of you. And the question is, have you ever taken a ride on an electric vehicle for 28,000 kilometers across India? You have to raise your hand. And I'm serious, you need to raise your hand if you have done that. I'm sure you haven't done that. It's an amazing thing to do that. And I have a wonderful guest over here with me, Mr. Jothi Viknesh, who has already done that in 2022 in 350 days. That's an amazing number. He's not just somebody who's just riding. He's a person who started something called Happy Souls, a wonderful dancer. By academics, he is a microbiology guy, and now he has chosen to create and bring happiness into the lives of everyone. So here we have Mr. Jothi Viknesh.
Hi,
and,
Nav.
Hi, and by the way, I am Nav. I am basically a mentor for CSR under Mentor Chat and Career Mentors. I'm the founder of Poonkala and Noble Giving. So I welcome you, Jyoti.
Thank you, Nav. Thanks for the great introduction. Great to be here.
Yeah. So I would like to know about your journey. How was it? How did you cover these 28,000 kilometers on a vehicle, electric vehicle, which needs to be charged for 4 hours? It can only go up to 100 kilometers in one charge.
Yeah.
And the speed of that vehicle is not more than 50 kilometers or 60 kilometers per hour.
Correct. 50.
Right? 50 kilometers.
Yeah.
How was that entire journey and experience for you?
So that journey was a great learning. It was almost like doing a PhD about EVs, about the infrastructure that we have in India. And most of it, everyday begging. It was the most humiliating experience or humbling experience that I can learn. And I took it as a humbling experience where I could learn each day about the challenges that people in India face.
Yeah.
Because in India, the EV infrastructure, if you take, there are charging stations in cities.
Yeah.
But once you cross cities and go into the villages and rural areas, there is no infrastructure. So every day I had to talk to people, make them understand, I will not do any harm to your home. Charge there and move to the next place. So It was a very slow way of travel and I totally loved it.
Nice. So what was the thought behind that particular tour and journey? Where exactly it got incepted?
So I have been traveling since 2016.
Okay.
That was when I did my first travel across India on a bike.
Nice.
I did for 2 months, spent all my savings, got broke, came back. In 2019, along with 2 more friends, I did another trip in which we took a Baleno and went for 8 months across India, attempted a Guinness World Record, broke the record, but then before we could apply and give all the evidences, we got to know that it was broken in the US and the target was double what we were attempting.
Okay.
So in 2022, after COVID, I thought I need to do something even bigger, even more crazier and more challenging.
Yeah.
So that's when I thought, why not do it in an auto rickshaw? Because outside India, auto rickshaw is a very fancy thing.
Yeah.
If you see all these foreigners, they come to Asia and South Asian countries mainly to get a tuk-tuk ride. That's what they call autos.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do in tuk-tuk, in an auto rickshaw. And that's when the EV auto rickshaws were launched by Mahindra and Piaggio and all that. So I thought, why not do this? Second thing, many people, why they don't buy EVs is range anxiety. People want to turn green by adapting to EVs, but then the range was not satisfactory. Right. And people were thinking, what will happen? There were like numerous cases of batteries burning. Right. It was all a lot of taboo around the EV industry. So I wanted to show people that if I can do it in a small electric auto rickshaw without suspension, with a very small battery of 100 kilometers range, it needs charging for 4 hours. There is no fast charging option. If I can do it in a small auto rickshaw, anyone can buy an EV and go within their cities and take the sustainable way to travel.
Right. Yeah. So now in that experience, you would have met so many people. You would have spent time with different age groups, different ethnic background people. How was that, like covering people from different states, different cities? What was that experience all about?
That one was even more beautiful.
Yeah.
Like before I've done this trip in a car, on a bike, it was fast. Like how you see a lot of these vloggers travel now.
Yeah.
They cover 500, 600 kilometers in a single day, go between states, between cities and cover it. Here, the biggest challenge that I had, which I created myself, was the auto rickshaw.
Right.
So every 100 kilometers, I have to stop.
Yeah.
And this is 100 on the plains.
Right.
If you go to mountains, the range even gets down to 60, 70. And in Tawang, when I was trying to reach Bumla Pass near China border, it's in the snow and the inclination was so high, I only got a range of 25 to 30 kilometers.
Oh my God.
And that is after charging for 4 hours. So 25 kilometers, I need to charge again for 4 hours. And that is in snow. And there are no charging points there, even homes.
Yeah.
The only way I could charge there with the help of Indian Army was by plugging it into the generators, diesel generators.
Right.
So those are the challenges. And like India is such a great demography that once you cross 100 kilometers, the language, the dialect changes.
Yeah, absolutely.
The people, the eating habit changes. The way they live, that changes.
Absolutely.
But one thing that I saw among all the states, like for example, when I was in Maharashtra, they said, be careful in Gujarat. When I was in Gujarat, they said, be careful in Rajasthan.
Yeah.
When I was in Rajasthan, they said, be careful in Uttarakhand, thok denge. But every person I met on the road, even though they were wary of others in different states, they were good.
Yeah.
I could really feel Athithi Devo Bhava every single day, where people help me with charging. And when I'm charging, I have to sit there for 4 hours.
Right.
So they'll come out and ask, why are you doing this? Are you mad? Won't your family say anything about it? What do you do for money?
Yeah.
How do you feed yourself?
Right.
Don't you fall sick? They ask all these questions. I explain I'm doing this to learn about India.
Right.
To meet people, to learn about their stories and share it with people. And when they listen everything, at the end, whether it is a construction worker, whether it's a petrol pump employee, or whether it is an army brigadier or an IAS officer, everyone after talking to me for a few hours, they'll say one thing. I have kids and a wife. If not, I will just sit in the back of your auto and join you.
That brings me to the question. How did you manage to convince your wife to allow you to do this?
Actually, I was not married at the time.
Oh, that's great.
So it was a good thing. My wife was still my girlfriend at that time.
Nice.
So she was supporting, waiting for me to come back.
Great. So if I may ask, what have you observed about the culture of India across something, maybe 2 or 3 points which would click to you or which actually stayed with you forever?
So one thing I started all this journey, the main point which helped me or which motivated me to start traveling was when I did my first trip, I met an Italian in Gokarna who actually sat on the back of my bike and took me to Kannur.
Yeah.
And in Kannur, he showed me a dance form called Theyyam.
Oh.
So this was way back in 2016 when I had just bought the new bike and I was exploring how do these vloggers travel, just randomly experimenting in new places. I'll just go and ask, okay, can I sleep here for one night? I don't have money. Can you feed me? So this was how I had started. Yeah. So this guy showed me an art form. I'm from Tamil Nadu. And this guy from Italy, he's taking me to Kerala and showing me a dance form and telling me about my Indian culture. That felt like a slap on my face.
Yeah.
I, from a neighboring state, don't know about this art form.
Yeah.
And people from abroad, so many countries, they come to India learning about Indian culture and promoting Indian culture worldwide.
Yeah.
So that's when I realized that I need to travel across India, document unique art forms, unique festivals. And I also go to schools and I take these videos, show these videos to kids, and I teach culture through dance.
Yeah.
So this motivated me to start traveling and learn more about Indian culture. And Indian culture is one of the most diverse in the world.
Wow.
If you take, for example, in Karnataka, there are more than 40 different art forms. How many of us know?
Yes.
Similarly, each state has its own set of art forms, which are dying, like becoming extinct soon because they don't have a livelihood. Yeah. They're only doing it once in a year in a festival. And then their children are studying. They don't want to struggle after seeing their parents face the same struggles. So they are all getting into other professions. There's nothing wrong about that. Yeah. But if we can create a sustainable model where all these art forms can be saved, can be sustained, I think only then Indian culture can be truly appreciated in the long run.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you because there were two experiences. One, during pandemic, I came across an organization who was working with various folk artists of India. And to be honest, more than 1,000 of them were struggling to earn around 6,000 a month during that period of time, because their entire livelihood was dependent upon the performances what they did.
True.
And pandemic didn't allow that to happen.
True.
Then thankfully Zoom calls and social media helped them to showcase their talent there, but they're still struggling. Right? And yesterday we lost one of the greatest musicians.
True.
And the person who gave rhythm to the lives of people in India and across the globe, Ustad Zakir Hussain. Right? They were the stalwarts who actually took Indian culture, Indian music to different parts of the world. Pandit Ravi Shankar ji, he also took that to different parts of the world. And you're absolutely right that we as Indians, or we as inhabitants of this country, we don't know our own culture to the root of it, and the depth of it, right?
Today, the parents, they want their kids to enroll in ballet classes, salsa classes. We are more attracted towards Latin dance forms, but we don't know our own folk dance form that is from my own native place, native city, native state. So.
In Karnataka, we have Yakshagana. And recently in my apartment, we were able to organize a puppet show, which was on Yakshagana.
Nice.
And it was witnessed by 150 kids of the apartment where I stay. It's called Brigade Meadows. And we have a storytelling group. So they also arranged and organized this entire thing for the kids. And I'm able to see that, okay, it's very important for us to explore these part of our culture, right? One interesting thing which you mentioned was that you use dance form to talk about culture. What I also know is that you have an organization called Happy Souls, right? So of course, when we think of dance, we talk about happiness. We feel,
because you can't act when you're dancing. You can't be sad. You can't keep a face like this and dance.
The entire body is in that sync, and it's a very psychosomatic experience for everyone. So how did Happy Souls came into existence?
So one thing I saw was, when I'm dancing, I'm happy. Whatever problems may be around me. So one way I fund my trips. It's because I don't have sponsors. Every time I do a trip, I have my savings, and that is very less. I try to make money on the go.
Okay.
And being a Zumba instructor and dance fitness trainer, it helps me. I talk to the gyms in advance. It's all random cold calling. I'll talk to people. I'll try to fix a workshop with them, and I keep all these workshops free. So because it is free, more people come to the workshop.
Right.
So once I finish the workshop and people are all happy, I make them sit. I tell them my concept of life, where I'm traveling across, learning about culture, teaching culture, learning on a day-to-day basis. So once I talk about my story, then I tell people, this workshop was free. But if you feel it was worth something, you can pay me whatever you feel it is worth. Even if you don't want to pay me, no problem. But whatever you pay will help me go to the next city, do one more workshop, learn a little more, and just cross few more kilometers. So this way, people used to contribute. So a few places I used to get 5 rupees. A few places I used to get 5,000 rupees. So this, I created a model where I can sustain myself on the road, enough to eat and find a place to sleep. And most of the days I'll sleep in gyms, in dance studios, in schools. And this auto rickshaw trip, it was with Mahindra. So I used to sleep in Mahindra lounges in their showrooms.
Nice.
Charging there. So wherever I can cut down the cost of travel and meet more people and talk to them, that's how I sustained. And dance was the best way to reach out to people. Because as Indians, we have dance in our blood. Each state has its own folk dance, folk music. Every 100 kilometers, it differs. The costume differs, the colors differs. It's so vibrant.
Absolutely.
So that helped me connect with the people. Dancing was easier.
Nice.
And once people dance with me, they are connected. I don't have to talk about my story. They smile, I smile, the connection is made. So they'll offer food. When I'm eating my food, I'll say, can I wash my clothes in your washing machine? They'll say, okay, wash. Washing is happening. While it is drying, I'll say, few hours, can I rest here?
Wow.
So I'll sleep there.
In fact, that actually makes me realize that this is a wonderful way of learning networking skills. Acquiring networking skills. How do you connect with people? Interpersonal skill. It's a beautiful thing to do, because when you start interacting with people, you get to know them, and then you also kind of negotiate to get what you want with them.
Correct.
Right?
It's very hard to make people to let you charge in their homes, because many places in rural areas, they are afraid that what mera ghar jal jayega. Because electric auto rickshaw, it needs that power line.
Correct.
So when I ask for a power line, they'll know, okay, this is a high load taking machine. I need to be cautious. So making them understand this is not going to burn your house.
Yeah.
I just need to go to the next few kilometers. So I need charging for some time. So that is negotiation Negotiation 101, if you take it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Acha, what I know about you is that you have completed 35 revolutions around the sun by now.
Okay.
Which means you are 35
maths 101 for me.
35 years of age. So I would like to know about your childhood. How was it? Where exactly it started? What was Jothi, when he was 5 years old, and what did you aspire to become? How was your visualization or vision for your life? If you can just take us through that.
So I belong to my dad was a government servant.
Yeah.
He retired as assistant commander in CISF.
Mm-hmm.
So because of his job, we were always in the move. So I was born in Gujarat, brought up all over India. So every 2 years we used to keep shifting to different states, learn a different language because we have to survive there. It's a different school, different set of friends, and different set of challenges as such.
True.
So this brought the thing of I need something new. So from childhood, I've always been reading a lot. That helped me create new worlds where I can delve into. So more of a daydreamer.
Oh, nice.
And because I loved Jurassic Park movie and the book, there's so much science behind it that I didn't see science fiction.
Yeah.
I saw science in the making.
Yeah.
So that's what got me into immunology.
Okay.
Not immunology as such, but then I wanted to make my own set of dinosaurs. So I wanted to learn genetic engineering, which over the course of time, as we grow up, reality strikes.
Yeah.
You need to choose a stream which helps, which has some future. Yeah. So slowly I got into cancer research and then into immunology and microbiology.
Okay.
That's why I got into research.
Okay.
So while doing research, I realized that for my character as a person and the time that I spend in a lab or a library, there is a big mismatch. And still in India, getting into a research that you want to do is very difficult.
Right.
To get a PhD, you have to join a guide, follow their project, work on it, gain a lot of experience, and you have to spend a lot of time over that span. So I didn't think that would be appealing to me at that point. So I quit research. And then I thought, okay, what should I do? I thought, okay, I have always wanted to dance, but never got a formal training because of strict parenting in those days, because dance was never seen as an option.
Yeah.
Become an engineer or a doctor.
Yeah.
I think all of us would have gone through that phase.
Absolutely. I can definitely resonate to that part.
So you see, most of the dancers now, they would have done engineering or they would have done something else. Then they were like, now I can take my own decisions. Now I have to do things my way. So that's how I also quit research and got into dance and fitness. Moved to Bangalore, became a Zumba instructor. And dance gave me the time and the funds to think on my own and start traveling.
Yeah.
So this also gave me new connections in different cities where I can just talk to any dancer or fitness trainer and they can connect to me because we all face the same challenges.
Yeah.
Becoming where we were.
So what was the reaction of your parents once you quit it,
So I actually literally ran off from home to come to Bangalore and become a dance fitness trainer.
Okay.
So only after I started traveling more and more, newspapers, media houses started covering me, they realized that, okay, he's doing something in life. But otherwise, there was a incident when I have done, Sangeet choreographies and wedding choreographies are a big part of dancers' life.
Correct.
So I had done this first Sangeet choreography for a client and I called my mom and I told, I just finished a Sangeet choreography. It was really nice. So many people. That experience itself was very beautiful. And then my dad has told my mom, "Ye Barat maine acha shuru kar diya hai."
Oh, that's a good profession, no? All the celebrities are doing that. And they get paid for it.
Not Ambani's wedding. So this is how it was. But then now, after a lot of coverage, and when things started getting bigger, when they saw the impact that it had on different people, after they saw videos of me doing workshops in schools where children are enjoying,
right?
And when so many, it's been beautiful. The amount of the way the people accepted me in different places, the kind of people that I meet. There are instances where I'm sleeping next to construction workers on highways. Yeah. Because Google shows highways there. We go there, highways getting built. All the villages are closed in Manipur, Northeast. I face this a lot. Yeah. I get into there's no highway. It's just getting built. Only construction workers, only highway machines, no power.
Yeah.
All the villages are closed. So I survived on Parle G for 2 days.
Yeah.
Had to ask help from construction workers, sleep in the tents, tattered tents. They gave me tattered blankets. The beauty about this is they have nothing.
Yeah.
They didn't get salary because it was during the COVID time. They hadn't gotten salary for 2-3 months.
Yeah.
They were struggling with dal chawal.
Okay.
But when they saw that I was in need, they took me with open arms. They fed me whatever they had.
Yeah.
They gave me a blanket and they took care of me.
Wow.
So that is one end. And on the same place in Assam, when I went there, through Facebook, I am part of a lot of these traveler groups.
Yeah.
And I keep posting, okay, I'm going to go next, I'm going to this city and I'm going to this city.
Yeah.
So one of the Facebook friends, he just texted, this is my number, call me once you reach Guwahati.
Right.
So I go to Guwahati, I give him a call. He said, come to this location.
Right.
And that location is a 3-star hotel.
Yeah.
I enter the hotel and I call him, okay, I'm here. He said, I have booked 3 days for you.
Yeah.
You can eat whatever you want. You can rest. I know how much you're struggling and I see your videos and your posts.
Yeah.
Just rest for 3 days and go. This is my gift from my side.
Nice.
Who are you? I am struggling because it is not easy living in an auto.
True.
Because there are many nights I sleep in the auto because I can't find a hotel or I can't charge. I'm just pushing my auto for 3 kilometers. I'm stuck in some forest.
True.
So all those kind of journeys, and suddenly someone gives me as a gift.
Yeah.
I go meet him and then he owns few showrooms, the Tata showrooms and all that. Yeah. He's a big person, but who does that?
That's a classic example of Atithi Devo Bhava.
Atithi Devo Bhava. And for a random person, I didn't even go to him for help.
True.
So this is one way you can actually utilize social media.
Yeah.
It's not first create something that you can do, show people value in what you do.
Yeah.
And then people will come forward to help you if they see value there.
It also shows that people have sensitivity within themselves.
True. It's not like, okay, don't trust anyone. Yeah. So that's what the first thing parents teach us.
Yeah.
And I tell people, trust each other.
Yeah.
It's not the bad things that is happening in every city. Not everyone is bad.
Yeah.
Trust people, go with a smile and ask help. Yeah. Not with attitude, okay, I'm from here, main iska beta hu. Don't go like that. Go with humbleness, ask for help. And people anywhere in India or anywhere in the world, people will help us.
True.
This is the biggest learning that I got from the whole trip.
So how do you visualize this? What is your vision with respect to this particular drive or say campaign? I'll stick to the idea of Happy Souls. Where do you see that? How is it moving forward?
So Happy Souls was mainly founded with the concept of spreading happiness through dance, through fitness, through stories, through culture.
Right.
So whatever mode I can use, I want to spread happiness.
Right.
Because the people I met everywhere, like they came back to that, wish I can also join you.
Yeah.
So people are not happy.
Yeah.
Why would you want to change your life? Unless there is something missing in it. There are people who are, and this is people like from here till here in terms of economic capabilities or whatever skill set they have, how much ever education they may have.
Yeah.
People are not happy in many ways. They may have a lot of money, but then they may be lonely.
Yeah.
They may have a lot of education. Yeah. They may be like silent and introvert.
True.
And people who are really happy and doing a lot of things, they will not have the money.
Correct.
So there is some kind of disconnect in whatever they go through in life. And my way of meeting them, why people help or connect to my stories so well is, even if it is for 1 hour or 1 minute, when I meet people, I try to make them smile.
Right.
That is enough for me. My job is to make them happy, smile for that 1 hour of session that I have. If I can make you dance and make you happy. The biggest achievement I see is there are many places where I met like 60-year-old uncles.
Yeah.
60-year-old dadis, aunties, all these people who have never danced in their life.
Right.
If they can just lift their hands, smile well and do this with me. I'm happy. My job is done for that time.
True.
So this is what I strive for. The whole concept of Happy Souls is when we meet people, make them laugh, make them smile and share that spark. You don't have to be this way.
Yeah.
You can smile. You can be happy.
Yeah.
So because we all have challenges. It's not like everything was offered to me in my plate and I started this.
Yeah.
We all go through phases. We all try to see, okay, what is actually needed in life?
Yeah.
And that is happiness.
Yeah.
And you don't have to struggle alone.
Yeah.
When you see someone smile, connect.
Yeah.
Share your story.
Yeah.
Easiest way to connect to someone and become friends. So I have traveled so much. I don't talk to people on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
But whether it is 2 or 3 years, when I call them again, Bhai, kaise ho? So that's how we start. It's like there was no gap in between.
Right.
So people are beautiful everywhere.
Yeah.
So
it
that
starts from where you left.
Correct.
Yeah.
So happiness is something that I strive to achieve. I want to defend my happiness aggressively because that is something that I've worked hard to achieve.
Right.
And I want to share this happiness with others. So that is what Happy Souls is all about.
True. In fact, that reminds me of my personal anecdote from my life. My father, he had a stroke in 2019 and then he was completely bedridden.
Okay.
And during the pandemic, he was completely, in a vegetative state.
Mm-hmm.
So I had two choices. Either I would continue earning money, doing calls, or I would spend time with him, right? Taking only those projects which would take care of my basic needs. And I chose the second one. So every evening, whenever I used to, complete my calls, I would go to his room. I would dance, sing, tickle him. I'm the younger one, so I would always, hug him and all those things. And he enjoyed it. Even my mom was there and they enjoyed it. And before leaving, he said, these were the best days of my life. He said, and even I enjoyed it because after my childhood days, this was the moment when I was able to spend time with my dad. I remember when I was a kid, my dad used to do the same thing. 5 years old, 6 years old, he taught me football. He used to take me out to the park. We stayed in a small city called Bokaro Steel City, where he was working as an engineer. So we had a lot of open spaces, a lot of jungles nearby. And the best thing what he used to do is that we would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. He would put me on his shoulders.
4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah. And then we would just walk down the lane. And then we would see rabbits or we would see some other animals in that. And it was a kind of reliving those moments. And the only thing which was different was the role reversal was there. Now, I would sing the songs. He was a huge fan of Raj Kapoor, huge fan of Mukesh and Rafi. So playing the songs, the gift which I got with him because he wanted to listen to the songs. So I said, what do you want? He said, buy me something which will listen to me and play songs for me. So I bought Alexa for him. Echo Dot I bought. Nice. And then he would just keep giving instructions and it would play the songs. And his favorite song was Kisi Ki Muskurahaton Pe.
Wow.
And we used to sing that song every day and, enjoy. So I feel that, Happy Souls is that because it's not of course, having abundance is good. Having money is very, very good. We all must earn well because it allows us to get those, modes or tools which will help us to be happy. So everyone should be abundant. I'm not saying that you should not earn money. Please
share.
please earn money as much as you can. At the same time, we have to be sensitive and we have to spend time. And smiling is the most important thing.
Like when you were talking about the dad story.
Yeah.
So not many of us had the luxury of getting a dad who could do that.
Yeah.
Because in rural India or like South India, most of the times, dads have this thing. If I get too close to my son, he'll get spoiled.
Yeah.
So they always put that hard shell on themselves and try to be more strict with the sons, basically. Yeah. Daughters, they are really close.
Yeah.
Sons, they get to be like really strict. So what happens is that disconnect.
Yeah.
After a certain age, we stop responding to them.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember the last time I had a hug with my dad.
Yeah.
From childhood. Yeah. And I always see that as a big disconnect, not just among my friends, but throughout. Everywhere I go, respect is, yes, very important. Totally, I agree with it.
Yeah.
But then the love that the sons are always yearning for from the dad.
Yeah.
It's a big disconnect. So one thing I used to do when I traveled was, whenever I used to go in different places, I don't stay in hotels.
Yeah.
I make friends. I stay in random people's home.
Yeah.
And when I'm staying there, they always cook their local dish.
Yeah.
They want to show off, right? They want to show how they're taking care of the
food.
Cuisines, and they're proud of it.
Yeah.
That's how you should be.
Yeah.
So they'll cook nicely for me 1 or 2 times, and I'll make it a point that I'm cooking sambar for them. something that I carry from Tamil Nadu and which North Indians love.
Sambar is
so I make it a point that wherever I go, whether I'm staying in a hostel or staying with random old people, like they are all grandparents, like they are fathers of someone, mothers of what I couldn't have at my own home. I made sure that I cooked for someone. And they used to love eating it. They'll invite their neighbors. Dekho, mere liye sambar banaya. So that thing was really beautiful because they are all lonely in different cities. Like people, everyone, all of who are becoming software engineers, they move from the tier 2, tier 3 cities. They come to cities like Mumbai, Bangalore and settle here. What about the parents? They are all in their own cities, alone. They also want someone to just shower love on. Someone whom they can talk to. So those moments when I used to cook for them and I sit with them and talk to them, I felt like in some way I'm also taking care of my own parents. Definitely. And I'm sharing that love with them because many people ask me, don't you want to take care of your family? Don't you want to take care of your mom and dad? So if everyone does that, who's going to do this? And if I also start doing that, so it's just a full circle of life where we are all trying to make someone happy, and we are all being blamed about you're not making this person happy.
In fact, just to add to that, so my father was also the same. After a certain age, there was a gap between me and my dad. But there was an incident. I lost my childhood friend who was of almost my age. And he expired at the age of 29. During his last rites, when I saw his father and his mom, it struck me very hard. It struck me so hard, I felt that, my dad is of the same age. And I'm not talking to him.
We all do that.
So I was like, okay, even my dad is getting old. So how long shall I be angry?
True.
How long will I continue with this? And that made me change my perspective towards him. It took me a long time. And he also understood. So during those 2 years, the last 2 years, one day, we spoke at length, and it was basically talking our heart out. I was angry and I said that, I missed you. I missed you and you didn't call me. And he said, have you ever thought that I missed you as well? And that it clicked me. And then we cried. We cried for some 1.5, 2 hours.
Men can cry.
So,
men should cry.
Definitely.
And talk to your dad. And dads talk to your sons.
So we both cried and we laughed and we both said, it's wrong. And then I asked him, are you happy now? He said, I'm very happy with you. So those conversations, then he started talking about his childhood days, what he did with his father. What was his experience, and we used to share those anecdotes, those days when I was in college, what mischiefs I did, all those things. And he said some of them he knew about it, but he never told. And some of the things which I was able to hide from him, I'm not endorsing that. So yeah, but then it's good to have that chat, that discussion.
See, like you said, dads want to get connected to their sons. Sons want their love from the dads. But then there is this invisible barrier always. After a certain age. And this gets broken only after when we reach our 40s and 50s. They are too old. And then we have this conversation. Why is there this disconnect? So this is,
as a son, what I felt was that somewhere we also have a biasness towards our parents. I mean, a negative biasness. Sometimes, we get annoyed. My mom is a pro in handling the laptop and mobile phones. But I remember the initial days when she would ask me that how to do this, how to do that, how to open an account in Facebook or how to have an email ID. I would get annoyed. What we forget is that when we didn't know, they ensured that we learned it.
Correct.
By telling us 100 times.
True.
And they gave their lives looking from the perspective of our eyes. So their thought process 30 years back or 40 years back, they ensured that I should become this, right? So having that vision. Now, when we are 40, 45 or 30, 35, it's our duty to go back and make them realize that now you can see the world from your own eyes. You don't need me. We should help them to see the world from their own eyes. And the challenge, what I feel, is that we usually see them from the prism of being a father and a mother, but we forget that they're individuals.
And they become children as they age.
Absolutely.
They need our support.
Absolutely. So when we start looking towards them as individuals, I think then they also flourish. They also get that platform.
True.
And I guess that's how it's...
Actually, the way I am, the characteristic which helps me to communicate with anyone and everyone, become friends with people, it comes from my mom.
Yeah.
She's like that. She goes on a train ride.
Yeah.
Within a night, she'll make friends with the neighbors.
Yeah.
After a week, she'll go to their home in their city, go to those temples nearby and come back.
True.
So she's so good in connecting with people. And that is something that I always learn and cherish, which has been passed on to me.
Awesome. I think it comes naturally to most of the people from that generation, either mom or dad. They were that is the way they used to live. With today's gadgets around, we all are sitting in the same room with all the gadgets in hands.
We have to call people to come down to dinner.
Nice, good. So what next? How do you see this going on? What is next on Happy
So right now we are trying to build a team for Happy Souls, and we are seeing how more can we impact on people.
Mm-hmm.
So we did whatever we could during the trip. We did workshops, met people, connected with as many people as possible.
Yeah.
How can we take it to the next level?
Yeah.
So that's what we are working on. We are coming up with a big project soon.
Yeah.
Where we're going in depth, talking more on sustainability and learning more about sustainable practices.
Yeah.
Because right now there are small chunks happening in different states and different cities where people are working on their own way in grassroots levels on curbing one problem.
Right.
So we want to create a platform or a journey, a journey where we can combine all these people.
Okay.
Talk about the different problems faced in different cities.
Right.
Create series based on that, where anyone and everyone can just go to the channel and learn about what are the practices that I can do in my home about. What are the problems I'm facing in my school? What can be the solution there? Or I'm having my own company with 50 employees. So what can be my bit in creating a sustainable endeavor here?
Okay.
So this is what we are working on right now. And the base is one. Happy self, happy home, and happy nation.
Wow.
So that's what we are working on.
That's amazing. Happy self, happy home, and happy nation.
Because it starts with us.
Yeah.
If I am not happy, whatever you do to me, I can never spread happiness.
Yeah. You gave a hint of a journey.
Yeah.
Right? Do you have a seat for me?
We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I think there are a lot of things which I have to work on.
I think now we'll just, he'll not ask for the seat.
No, before I ask for the seat, I have to ask my wife.
You ask. Now that both of us are married, I think.
But yeah, I'll find a way. Right. But it was amazing talking to you. I just felt that you took me to the entire journey you had in 2022. Maybe inspired me to talk about my own stories as well. And of course, I want this to continue.
It was a great conversation now because the conversation don't continue if that flow is not there. So I really loved the talk here.
Yeah.
And all the best for Mentor Chat.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. We will definitely have another episode where we will go in depth of what you did in 2022 and also talk about what is the new vision and the new set of things, activities that is going to happen with Happy Souls.
Thank you so much now. And please subscribe to Mentor Chat.
Yeah.
For more fun conversations and a lot of learning.
Thank you. So do subscribe to Mentor Chat. Listen to what Jothi is saying. Right. And
let's be happy together.
Till then, let's be happy together. Thank you.
Thank you.